Ammonia can be dangerous. To stay safe, you must be able to recognize its presence and take appropriate precautions. By the end of this training, you will be able to recognize when ammonia may be present, know the hazards associated with ammonia, recall safe practices for handling and storing ammonia, and know what to do during emergencies involving ammonia. Ammonia is a gas that is made of nitrogen and hydrogen molecules. It's in our water, soil, and air, and is a source of life-sustaining nitrogen for plants and animals. Most of the ammonia in the environment comes from the natural breakdown of manure and dead plants and animals. We use ammonia as a refrigerant, a cleaning and bleaching agent, and a household cleaner. We also use it to produce fertilizers, plastics, explosives, and pharmaceuticals. In which of these substances are you most likely to find ammonia? Ammonia is a very powerful irritant, especially to the eyes and respiratory tract. All health effects associated with ammonia exposure are acute. In other words, they occur very quickly after exposure. Ammonia can cause varying degrees of irritation to your eyes and skin, which may itch and burn. It can also cause damage to the mucous membranes, which can be fatal. Ammonia has a low odor threshold, which means that you can smell its presence easily. When it is present in less than 200 parts per million, it will cause discomfort, but the effects will only be temporary if the exposure is brief. Any exposure to ammonia over 300 parts per million is immediately dangerous to life and health. Effects range from severe irritation of the eyes and respiratory tract to death. Exposures over 10,000 parts per million are immediately fatal. The good news is that your employer has controls, alarms, and procedures in place that you can use to prevent these levels of exposure. Ammonia has dangers beyond your health. The boiling point of ammonia is negative 33.3 degrees Celsius. This means that bulk ammonia becomes a gas at normal room temperature. The explosive range is between 16 to 25%, or 160,000 to 250,000 parts per million. It's important to understand that ammonia is lethal when you inhale it at a small percentage of its explosive range. Ammonia is a relatively stable chemical, but it does react violently with strong acids and oxidizers, such as chlorine bleach, salts, and silver, zinc, copper, and other heavy metals. True or false? The health effects of ammonia may not occur until many years after exposure. Knowing the properties of a hazardous substance can help you to identify it in the event of a release. Let's see what you may already know about ammonia. We're going to ask you some questions about ammonia. It's okay if you aren't sure. We'll explain the correct answers. What color is ammonia? What does ammonia smell like? How does the weight of ammonia compare to air? When ammonia is in the form of a liquid under pressure, what is its temperature? The formula for ammonia is NH3. The United Nations, or UN, number is 1005. The shipping label will indicate that it is a poison gas and is corrosive. Ammonia is shipped and stored as a liquid under pressure. The primary means of receiving ammonia is by truck or train. Up to 26.5 cubic meters may be transported by truck, and up to 113.6 cubic meters per car may be transported by train. Ammonia storage areas must be built for that purpose. Do not store incompatible, flammable, or combustible materials in ammonia storage areas. If you store ammonia outside, paint the tanks with light and heat-reflective paint. The paint will help you control rust and corrosion and keep the temperature and internal pressure lower during hot weather. Because ammonia is dangerous and may be used to make explosives, security and access controls are essential to everyone's safety. Mark or designate areas containing ammonia with signs prohibiting unauthorized entry. If you see anything suspicious or unauthorized people in the area, report them to security immediately. A minimum of 2 people should be present when transferring ammonia or checking for leaks. One person must be able to watch out for the other and call for help if something goes wrong. Never eat, drink, smoke, or chew tobacco or gum in an area where ammonia is stored so that you can avoid transferring ammonia contaminants to your mouth. Validate the proper operation of the eyewash stations and emergency showers before you work with ammonia. Use direct reading monitors while working around potential leaks. Wear rubber gloves and other protective clothing, such as boots, jackets, and pants made of materials that ammonia cannot penetrate, to protect your skin. Wear chemical splash goggles and face shields to protect your eyes. Your employer may also ask you to wear respiratory protection. If so, they will provide you with additional training about when and how to use it. Drag the storage and handling practices to the appropriate labels, safe or unsafe. If your facility has an alarm system and there is an ammonia leak at your facility, the alarm system will activate. Alarms may vary, so make sure you know what to expect where you work. Ask your supervisor if you have questions. It's important that you know how to respond in the event of an ammonia leak so that you can stay safe. Do not attempt to address a leak unless you have been trained to do so. Notify the control room and the emergency response team of the suspected leak. Follow your site-specific emergency response procedures and emergency action plans. You should receive this information during your site-specific training. If you have questions, ask your supervisor. When an ammonia alarm activates, you should evacuate to a safe area. Your facility has designated refuge areas. If you aren't sure where they are, ask your supervisor. Only go to the refuge area if it is upwind and up gradient of the leak. To get there, move crosswind and then move upwind. Never pass through the plume of a gas leak. You will need to find another way if the usual path is downwind from an ammonia release. Once you are in the safe area, turn off the heating and air conditioning systems and close doors and windows to keep ammonia from getting in. A designated person will take a head count of all employees, contractors, and visitors. If someone inhales ammonia or gets it in their eyes or on their skin, it can cause damage, burns, irritation, and frostbite. It's important to immediately move upwind to an uncontaminated area and then flush the exposed eyes or skin for at least 15 minutes. Then, seek immediate medical attention. Drag each statement about ammonia emergencies to the appropriate category, true or false. You should now be able to recognize when ammonia may be present, know the hazards associated with ammonia, recall safe practices for handling and storing ammonia, and know what to do during emergencies involving ammonia.